Yeah, we incorporate like other sports. We'll talk about, just random shit. Like it's just, it's how you do it, But it's, you can only keep people so interested in one topic for so long. Like you have those diehard people that like want to come back just for the golf stuff. And I get that. And that's totally fine. But I think what kind of separates us and maybe even you guys too, from like the quote unquote oversaturation of golf content creators and podcasts nowadays is that we don't just talk about golf. Like we incorporate other people and we talk about how they got out of the game, or like we talk about music. A lot of people that we have interviewed, have some type of marching band or like, solo music, like career or background or something like that. It's just, it's cool how it all ties together.
There's been a lot of guests that have weird connections to Syracuse.
That's the craziest thing.
We're basically like 4-5 hours from New York City, like middle of New York State, basically.
We're closer to Canada than we are to New York City.
A random spot that there's just a lot of weird connections with most of our guests that have been on.
Amazing.
My sister lives there. I'm like, what the hell?
It was. Well, my uncle lives in Pennsylvania. I've got, funnily enough, so our chat of playing golf together might not be that far fetched. It's my 10-year wedding anniversary next year, and we're actually coming to New York, sort of August, September.
Are you going to the city though?
Probably the city, but I mean, I sort of work for myself, so I can take a bit of extra time off. So. I mean, let's make it happen.
We're literally like from the city. It's like pretty much a straight shot, like 4.5 hours north.
Amazing.
That's literally all it is.
I mean, you guys play with hickory clubs, right? That's what we do. No. One of the things that came up there, because a friend of mine, lives in New Jersey at the minute, and he said, make sure you come, because we primarily want to come and watch the US Open. The tennis, because we've crossed off every other open venue. So we've been to Wimbledon, been to Melbourne.
Cool.
Nice.
There's the other one now. France, we've been to Roland Garros. So it was like, this is the last one to cross off. And he was like, oh yeah, you should stay a bit longer and go watch the Ryder Cup. I was like, yeah, great, okay, we'll do that. They're like a month apart. I'm not going to New York for a month. Yeah. Like, that's just ridiculous. I started looking at the prices for the Ryder Cup. And it's like crazy expensive.
I know. We wanted to go down to it because we went. So not this past year, the year before, the PGA was in Rochester, which was like an hour and a half from us, and we went to the practice round, and it was like $75, and all inclusive, full day, all the food you could eat, all the non-alcoholic was all included, and it was sweet. So that was our plan, was to go to that at Bethpage, because.
Yeah,
Bethpage is kind of special. So for like anyone in the public, I believe it's like $400 for a round, but for us as New York State residents, it's like $75 to play it.
Oh wow, okay.
But because it's technically a state park type of thing, But they don't book tee times. You have to like go down there for sunrise, and you're kind of waiting, trying to. You can like book a day, but then you're waiting to kind of see if you can get out.
We also because we have a couple friends that again are on the adaptive tour on both sides actually, and they're doing the adaptive Ryder Cup at Bethpage Black too. So we might go down for that, even just to like watch or whatever. But that won't nearly be as expensive as these tickets are. So
I mean that Bethpage Black has got that sign, hasn't it? That this is a really wild golf, it's a tough golf. I mean,
should turn around.
What are you doing here? If you're reading this sign, you're in the wrong place, sort of thing.
You just keep going. They're like, "Are you really sure?"
Yeah,
you don't need
just every hole. Yeah, are you ready to give up? Yeah, ready to give up. Yeah, I mean, it's well, they've had was there a tournament recently at Bethpage Black as well? Was that not right? Have I got that wrong? Sure, a couple of years ago, 2-3 years ago, was it?
A couple of years ago there was.
Can't remember.
I don't know if it was the PGA or... no, it was the US Open. Was it the US Open?
US Open?
One of the two it was, maybe like 3 years ago.
Right.
But someone let us know in the comments if we're just crazy.
When you said about just kind of, you roll up on the day, I mean, that's great because it's a bit democratic, isn't it? Like anybody can get on. It's just, are you going to get on? That's the lottery of getting on, I suppose. But they do that at St Andrews, and that's pretty much the only course in the UK that does that. the home of golf, you know, all this sort of stuff. And
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's really cool, you know, that everybody has a chance to play.
Yeah. One of my friends from here went to St. Andrews.
Amazing.
And it was like he was playing the course for. He said how cheap it was. And like the range balls, I think he said it was like $5 for 100, and every bay's got a TrackMan, and like it's just he's played it like 15 times just going to school right there. Where now he lives in LA, and it's like $150-$200 for a round without a cart, and he's like, I can't golf anymore.
Wow. So he went to St. Andrews University, did he?
Yeah.
See, I found this out like probably about 3 or 4 episodes ago, and it was Chris just randomly said, "Oh yeah, I've heard that." So we had this guy called Alex on, and he was our first official sort of guest. All the guests have been, you know, sort of friends of mine, people who sort of contributed to my cultivating of the podcast, really. So it's a bit of a personal vanity project, I suppose, more than anything else. But he was the first legit, you know, he's another top 100 golfer. He's done 42 courses now. So we were kind of like, you're a hero. So we got chatting to him, and he was sort of talking about kind of St. Andrews, and then Chris suddenly just pipes up and he goes, "Yeah, well, if you're a student at St. Andrews University, you can just go and play whenever you want." I was like, "Why have you not told me this so far?
Wait,
we just need to become students again. Like, this is ideal. Why am I
You just
missing
show
out?"
up. Doesn't matter if like there's a line or anything.
Yeah, I think, well,
I
yes,
don't
you'd
know
have
if
to
they do
like,
tee times. I think it's similar
Yeah.
to that page. It's like
Yeah.
first come, first serve.
Wait, that's awesome.
I know. The original home of golf kind of place. You know, it's so democratic to get in.
Imagine you fly. We spent all that money to fly over there. We wait for 2 days, and then you see Colt and Brennan just come over, and they're just shotgunning fucking beers in the course. And I'm like, what the hell is going on, dude?
What's going on? I'm like making this pilgrimage, this golf pilgrimage, and I'm like kissing the ground as I'm walking along, and you don't even care. You're just walking along, and just because you can play, you know, you're showing off sort of thing. But they do a thing now at St. Andrews that we found out, where you can enter that. There's a 48-hour ballot period, so you enter it, you get drawn out, and then they give you 48 hours to get up there to go and play. So we were just like, come on, we're like, I don't know, we're probably 6 hours drive from St. Andrews. That's nothing. If we get drawn out with 2 days' notice, I mean, like, yeah, we're doing it. The problem we had is, and we had this really early on, because obviously it's on the list, and because it's such a special place, and it's, you know, it's not just the golf course, it's the whole town is like, it's golf town.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a special feeling. I just said in the last episode, I was like, you know, what if, am I going to be that guy that turns up to St. Andrews and goes, yeah, it was all right. You know, everybody's kind of going, oh my God, it's this magical place. I'm like, you know, whatever.
I think I don't know if you watch Bob Does Sports, but when they golfed at St. Andrews with Rick Shields, and there was I could be wrong. I'll paraphrase it here, but Cold Cuts and Bobby said something about, like, I was afraid that having that mentality of going there and being like, oh, what if it's just like whatever? But then, like, Fat Perez, who obviously is like their like ringer, he said that he was like getting emotional, like walking up like 16, 17, 18, because he's like, there's just something that takes you over that's like, this is where like golfers need to be. And he's like, any thought that you had of like, I'm gonna just show up and be like, yeah, this is whatever, it's like, it gets thrown out the window.
Yeah.
Oh, man,
I feel like especially coming in those past few holes, or the last few on that course, like kind of seeing the town as you're coming back in, I feel like, because obviously the stands aren't there, you know, it looks so much different than the Open. But, you know, coming back at like the hotel hole and all that, and just seeing the town.
I mean, I'm never cutting that corner. Never, ever cutting that corner. No chance. Yeah, it'll just be
There'll be a plaque.
putter from
There'll
the
be a
tee.
plaque. Just didn't try it.
Yeah, he's the only one who's never tried it. Yeah.
So I know that we're. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry. Oh, no, go. You go.
No, go, because you're going to still talk about it. I was going to move.
Yeah, I was going to say that I suppose maybe there's a bit of like self-protection in that, because if I go in with reduced expectations, then I get giddy at these things. Like we played, the first course that we played was a course called Silith. It's up in Cumbria, tiny little course, but fabulous golf course. It's starting to get some awards now as well, so it's getting some recognition, which is really good. It's just an absolute bitch to get to. That's the problem, so nobody goes there. And it's an outlier. It's just one course in this one little area, and then you have to basically drive past it to get to all the other golf courses, so everyone just carries on. And then we played Moortown, and Moortown has had two Ryder Cups there. So I get giddy about stuff like that, because it was like, it was 37 and 30, and it was, 33 and 37. So the first UK soil Ryder Cups were at Moortown. And I'm thinking, well, who's played in those teams? Like Walter Hagen's played in those teams, and you're like, he's a god of golf.
Right.
And it's like, so, I'm doing this. Chris is just like, shut the fuck up, I want to play golf, right? And so I kind of feel like I'm trying to self-sabotage myself and contain my giddiness about playing St Andrews, because otherwise, I think I'm going to have to buy a GoPro for that. I've got to stick that on the bag and take that out. I'll be like trying to steal a flag from the flag poles. Just everything, so take a bit of turf, bit of
have Chris hold your spot in line so you can go experience the clubhouse and walk around for like 2 hours and get everything.
Correct. That's basically it. Yeah. Actually, that's a great. He's not here now, so I think he can say he safely agreed to that.
There you go. Yeah. But, sorry, Chris.
Yeah. He's used to it. I've been making him drive to all the other courses at the minute, so you'll get me back at some point.
Thanks for watching today's episode.
To see more of our content, be sure to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and subscribe on YouTube. We can be found at Basic Bogeys on all platforms.
Thanks. We hope to see you on the next one.